Welcome to the Edge of NFT, the podcast that brings you the top 1% of Web3 today and what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts of the business side and also the human element of how Web3 is changing the way we interact with the things we love. This podcast is for the dreamers, disruptors, and doers who are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next.
Welcome to the Edge of NFT, podcast created by Josh Figure, Ethan Jenny, and Jeff Kelly, featuring top-notch guests and hosts like myself, Richard Card. This show is sponsored by MainCard.io, and we are taping it live here at 2-Bit Circus during Curiosity Circus as part of this NFT LA Community Week. MainCard is pioneering Web3 sports fantasy manager platform built on Polygon blockchain. It transforms sports predictions into interactive experiences to earn MCM tokens. As players engage on MainCard, they navigate the realms of sports entertainment and blockchain technology, bringing a novel dimension to sports, fandom, and gaming. And now it's an honor to introduce the man of the hour, Valerii Makovetskii. So Val is the CEO of MainCard.io and a serial entrepreneur and noted for building hardware manufacturing company in Europe, generating over 100 million in revenue. He advises, holds patents in assistive technologies, and launched multiple companies in sports entertainment with Squarify, iSchool Connect, Spartacus Sports, Every Talent, Next Touch, and of course, MainCard. So, Val, a few weeks back, we had you on Outer Edge Twitter Spaces. For those that missed that, we had amazing people like Ben Noble, B. Davies, David Bianchi, Eric Poulier, Big Wino, and Begin from Viral Alpha, all who are celebrating everything that's happening here at NFT LA Community Week. And we're really excited that you can be part of this with MainCard. So what made you decide to make sure that MainCard was a part of this great experience?
Yeah, thank you, Richard. And, pronunciation of the names is always a challenge for, the US people when it comes to the Eastern Europe, etc. So I prefer Val. It's easier for everybody. Actually, the California and LA, of course, it's, the motherland of the gaming industry, sports, entertainment. So NFT LA, I guess, unites great people. And for us, it's the way to engage with the community, just meet potential partners, employees, just a great space. And I think that you're doing a great job year after year because us personally, we were attending it 2 years in a row. And then when somebody from your team reached out to us, I think we decided to join after like 50 seconds of a talk. So yeah, recommend to everybody to stick to the community and grow with the community.
Oh, absolutely. I really appreciate it. And it was great talking with you and glad to hear that, you were a part of our first two experiences. And I think a lot of people in the audience have also been to some of our other NFT LA and community weeks that we've had throughout, and appreciate you all being here. But, being originally from Europe, and you've now been working in the manufacturing sector, and now based in Orange County, and you are suddenly now in Web3. So what made you want to break out of manufacturing and break into the Web3 space?
Yeah, sure. Good question. So basically, I've spent the last 10 years building the leading hardware manufacturer in the Eastern Europe, and we're going public next year. But for us, for our team, we always wanted to compete on the biggest markets. So even though we crossed like 100 millions in revenues, we operate on the market which is like 1% of the world's GDP, and we want to go to the market which is like 25% the GDP, which the US is. So yeah, I think the competitiveness is in our blood. So we just want to move to the bigger markets and expand new territories. So we were lucky enough to create a highly profitable business, and it gave us the possibility to start investing in the US. So in 2019, we went to the event space, and we became the biggest provider of the event platform from Amazon. And then after the COVID started to decrease, all the madness just stopped. We pivoted to the streaming platform and became like the second biggest sports streaming platform in the Latin America. And we always wanted to solve the problem of the viewers of the sports events, because It's not fun to just watch an NFL game for 4 hours straight without being able to, somehow interact with the content. And we started looking at the fantasy sports and the fantasy platforms from Europe and from Asia that's expanded globally. And it brought us, actually, to be honest, it was just for fun. So we got like a couple of developers, they started building it, and within 3 months we launched. And we were hoping, like, developers were like, will we get like 50 to 100 users to test it? But the Web3 is a crazy space, so we got 50,000 users in 3 days. And then we decided, yeah, it might be a big thing. We increased the team. Now it's like 25 people from 12 countries.
A quick word from our sponsors who's ready to navigate the cutting edge of tomorrow's legal landscape. Because at Zuber Lawler, they're not just attorneys, they're visionaries. With expertise in emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, and the metaverse, they're paving the way for you to seize the future. For mergers and acquisitions to IP, their selective team delivers strategic solutions tailored to the ever-changing world of technology. Join us at Zuber Lawler, where the future meets the law at zuberlawler.com. Back to the episode.
I missed all this, 2017, 2018 stuff with the development of those ICOs, lots of people lost their money. And I'm being one of the least versed people in the Web3 space. I wanted to build something for myself to help me understand blockchain is the easiest way possible. So yeah, we created this game to introduce blockchain to general Web2 users in a gamified manner. So this is how it started.
No, I love it. And, you brought up fantasy sports, and it's been a great way for different sets of groups of people that I've met through life playing fantasy football, whether it's friends from high school, from college, work colleagues, etc. And being able to find a way to merge Web3 into that environment, like the idea of like play to earn, for example, like really excites me. And so, how do you envision play to earn and like pay to earn like models changing the traditional relationships between gamers and game developers?
Yeah, that's a pretty challenging question because, first you just play the game and you have fun, but then somebody says, hey, we're going to be paying you for doing this and that. And eating, excites you, and nobody thinks of, hey, where do I get this money from? Like this, it's basically the old stuff, but we remember stepping all the time. Like you get $25 per day by walking in the digital shoes for 10 minutes. Where do you get this money from? Nobody asked the questions. So it's a great retention feature, but then it increases, the workload of the game developers, the game designers, etc. So cool mechanic, but after all, people will play it if it's really exciting game, because usually you have a lot of hype and thousands of people come to you, but they're just, many of them, you get too excited, but then you release like a couple of airdrops and you see like people are hyped, but then you list your token, 99% of people just sell, and you got loads of venture investments, and now you're sitting with a couple of people who really enjoyed your game. So this is a tricky part, and you have to figure out before listing your token. This is why we were delaying listing the token. We first wanted to get, I think in April we'll break like 500,000 players, and then when we figured out the logic, the balance, etc., then we list the token, and then we might be sure that it's gonna work out great.
I like it a lot. You mentioned Stefan, and it was an interesting model that, at first garnered a lot of attention, got people excited, people are earning, but it was a model that failed because it's just like, where does the money continue to come from, right? Exactly. And so being able to use different models, learn from those mistakes, and build something that's more encompassing of bringing in people that are excited, but then also being able to retain them with something that's sticky and that makes them want to stay there is a delicate balance, just like you said. And MainCard's going about a lot of different ways to do that. And one of the ways is bringing utility to Web3 by inventing new ways of using NFTs. So what were the problems that you were trying to resolve through MainCard to help tackle some of those challenges with NFTs?
For us, NFT should be like a chip in the casino. You enter the casino, you pay $25 for the chip. It's $1,000 that you can make with this $25 chip. but when you leave, you should be able to sell it for $25. So we decided that the NFT in MainCard will be like the in-game currency, which is the price increases as the value increases and as utility increases. And it should always go together. So for us, super simple. The NFTs have like the specific price, and you have specific rules that increase or decrease the price. And everybody sees it in the white paper. So this is how it should work, I think, globally.
Yeah, I like it. It's straightforward and people know what to expect, and it takes a lot of the variability out of it. And so I'd like if you can kind of walk us through the approach for Web3 fantasy sports and how does this differentiate on this platform versus traditional? Like, how people can interact with MainCard different than what I can do on like DraftKings or something else?
And now for a quick word from our sponsor before we dive into the next segment. Are you ready to take your sports predictions to the next level? Look no further than MainCard.io, the fantasy management platform that's taking the blockchain world by storm. With MainCard, every card is a ticket to excitement. You can predict sport outcomes, trade cards in the marketplace, and challenge opponents in thrilling weekly duels. And don't wait. Head to MainCard.io now and start earning rewards with your NFTs because it pays to be early. And now back to today's episode.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning DraftKings. So basically, is the platform, and in gambling, there are specific patterns. So, male, 37 years old, and it's the game. It's not a community building game. You just load the money for some team, and then you're waiting. So not a lot of interaction there. But then there's a risk to lose the money. And we didn't expect that, but since we launched, we're getting a bunch of messages that, hey, I used to lose the money, it was a family budget, I suffered from it, but I get the same adrenaline playing MainCard, but it's a free-to-play game. I don't lose the money, I'm so excited, I can earn some tokens, and then, once it's getting listed, I can sell it. But then it's a community building because you have to unite in guilds. You can find the like-minded people, and it's all about the interaction. So you play in the team tournaments, etc. So it's not necessarily that you want to outplay everybody and earn all the cash in the world. But the main differentiator is it's socially responsible, and it's has a lot of community building mechanics that increase the retention, and people just form the groups.
Right. So it's not just a pure gambling like mechanics. It's truly the community building. It's gamification. It's allowing anyone to be able to come pick this up, play, learn, and grow in some other communities to learn different strategies and other stuff like that, which I think is an interesting approach to going about that. Something that I want to bring up though is one of the challenges that typically comes up for users is entry fees. And usually to access blockchain games, there's a cost to get started. And typically it deters a lot of players from trying out different platforms. So what are your plans for navigating this challenge and enabling a lot of these newer players who are interested in playing blockchain games?
Yeah, as we basically started, we were pursuing the social mission, the blockchain mass adoption. And 99, I would say, % of startups, we were lucky enough to have our own funding. So basically, we have infinite runway. We can load our own cash into the game. So we decided that we will take down all the barriers there are to start the game. Basically, if you're a Web2 user, we will create your wallet for you. We'll create it on the back end. You will not even know you're playing the Web3 game until you're ready to. So, and then we'll explain you how the mechanics work. And then we made it gas-free. I think we were one of the first to make it gas-free. Nobody pays the fees for the transaction. We took it, and it's the part of our budget covering the fees. And then, of course, to help you, to incentivize you to spend your time and help us develop, because we're in the testnet phase. Of course, we give you something within the first 14 days of the game. On a daily basis, you receive something that incentivizes you to keep playing. And, it costs us probably $50 to $100 per user. but then we're making sure that you understood the basics, and then you decide whether you want to stay or not.
I like it. You're truly investing in your initial community to come play and learn and grow, and it incentivizes stickiness, right? Because you're really wanting them to be here for the right reasons and to not have to worry about all the money that can go into being a part of a lot of blockchain gaming. So I want to talk to you. You early brought up the coin side of things. So you have a native token, MainCoin, MCN, that can be utilized within the MainCard ecosystem. Can you tell us more about this coin and different utilizations?
Yeah. In our case, the token is just the in-game currency. The similar currency you have if you play Call of Duty. You have the in-game currency. You play Travian or whatever game, you have the in-game currency. So you use your token to basically repair your NFTs, upgrade your NFTs, enter the new guild, or you form the guild and you tell the players that to enter this guild, you have to pay this sum, which will go to the treasury and help us develop and beat all the other guys. And it created a lot of trading. So our amount of trading is roughly like $200,000 to $300,000 per day in the tokens and the cards. So players just exchange NFTs, and then they pursue different strategies. Some of them invest in upgrading their cards. Some of them, will upgrade and then sell them. So strictly in-game currency. And the great part of it is that we created the economy where we did not distribute any of the tokens to the influencers, to the investors. So we have zero selling pressure. Like 100% of the token is either in the treasury or the players have it on hand and they will sell it to other players who will come to play the game after the maintenance starts. So it's great for the pricing. The price will, likely to go up, but then we don't want no pumps and dumps, and we just eliminated all the possibilities for it to happen. So it's gonna be like the steady growth.
No, I like it. Again, go on the grassroots approach of making sure people are there for the right reasons, enjoying the game, and wanting to just be on the platform and not really worried about all of the back end Web3 side of things, I think is a very strong use case for having the right kind of community for any type of game, right? When you have game mechanics that have a Web3 aspect, but they don't necessarily know that they're using it, but it's still there if they want to, I think is a really unique way of going about it, and also having the type of utility that in tokenomics that like really help and benefit people for being there for the right reasons, right? So something that's coming up is sports leagues for MainCard, and it's set to be a focal point over the next quarter. So is there anything that you can share with us about what that expansion looks like? And is there anything else on the roadmap that you would like to share with everyone here?
Yeah, usually when startups start to think of the 3-5 years plans, is just nobody knows what's gonna happen. So we're talking about the next 6 months. Every team member is aligned on the next 3 to 6 months. So our audience is 18 to 25 mainly. So where do we look for them? We go on Twitch, on Kick, and what do we see? We see the esports streamers. So we decided that we'll try to engage more with the esports community. We invested roughly $500,000 for the prize funds of the Dota events, and then we'll launch Valorant as well. So we just a week ago finished our first tournament for the Latin and North America. And then we're gonna expand into Europe and hopefully Asia, mixing up the games. We signed 2 partnerships with the top-notch esports teams. Our ambassador is the only 2 times world champion in Dota 2, Dendi. So hopefully you'll see a lot of new partnerships in this space with MainCard featured. And then the team works on entering mainnet because we were getting lots of help from the Ton Foundation and from the Ton Network. So we decided to work not only on Polygon, but build it truly cross-chain. So we're going to be in Arbitrum, Optimism, etc. And we're launching on mainnet on Ton in the 20th of April. And in May, hopefully we'll list our token on one of the DEXs. So yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of stuff, exciting things happening in the next month, in a couple of months. I guess final question before we kind of wrap here is just like, as you look upon 2024, it's already been a crazy 3 months, right? Bitcoin on new all-time highs. Everything is kind of picking back up in the right directions. Where do you see the future of Web3 gaming headed?
Yeah, the budget of MainCard is all in Bitcoin, so far so good. And we have here the guys from Call of Duty developers, but it's tough to move huge companies. You know, they earn their cash, they don't want to move. But as soon as one company decides that I can take my AK-47 from Call of Duty to PUBG, and as soon as they deploy it, the whole industry will shift. So hopefully we'll see it. And with this bull run, we have more incentives to invest in this space. So probably a couple of years and we will see a huge shift in this paradigm.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely appreciate all of your insights. And before we conclude this incredible discussion, where can people go to learn more about you and what you have going on, and of course, everything going on over at MainCard?
Yeah, MainCard.io. We're partnered with the Edge of NFT. You can find us through the social media of Edge of NFT LA, etc. We got Discord. We got like 200,000 people in the Telegram community. So just type in MainCard.io or MainCard official. You'll find us everywhere.
Excellent. Well, we definitely appreciate you having you as a partner. And again, we want to thank MainCard for being our title sponsor at this event, making a lot of this come together. Really appreciate that. And also want to give a quick reminder to everyone that don't forget to get your drinks with Favorite Nights. You can go and use your QR code to download the Favorite app. And again, this is one of your last chances to go and experience the great favorite that they have. We have a ton of other really good sponsors here as well. And we want to, again, thank MainCard for helping this event to happen. So thank you again, Val, and appreciate you being here.
The views and opinions expressed on Edge of NFT reflect solely those views and opinions of the show hosts and its guests. Please make sure to do your own research. Our show is not financial advice. You understand that you are using any and all information available on or through this podcast at your own risk. Whenever making financial decisions, we recommend doing your own research and talking to your accountant for financial advice. From time to time, we may feature sponsored content on the show for which we receive value, and we may share links for which we receive a commission if you make a purchase through one of those links. Refer to our website, www.edgeofnft.com, for our full disclaimer, terms and conditions, and privacy policy.